Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Friedoff. I'm a biology teacher here at Bellefonte Area High School, and I wanted to give everyone a rough rundown of what my class is going to be like this year. So I teach two classes. I teach biology and AP biology. So if you're receiving this video, this is... Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Friedoff. I'm a biology teacher here at Bellefonte Area High School. Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Friedoff. I'm a biology teacher here at Bellefonte Area High School. I wanted to give you a rough rundown of what my class is going to be like and the expectations that are going to... Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Friedoff. I'm a biology teacher here at Bellefonte Area High School, and I wanted to give a rundown of what my class is going to be like this year. So to get started, I want to give you a little bit of background about myself. I'm not originally from Bellefonte, but I've been here for 12 years. I grew up on the western side of Pennsylvania, and I went to St. Francis for my undergrad, where I received a biology education degree. So I did major in biology, but I also got certified to teach. So from there, I was hired at Bellefonte in around 2013-14 school year. I've since then completed my first master's through California University of Pennsylvania. I got a STEM degree, or a STEM master's, and I'm currently getting my second master's through Montana State University in something called a Master's of Science in Science Education. So I'm very passionate about science and science education, as you can see, but that's just a little bit about my background. I have two main classes this year. I have a biology class and AP biology classes. So you can see I have 4 biology classes and 2 of the AP. So hopefully your student that you're receiving this email about or the video about is in one of those classes. My teacher page that's on the school website or the school directory isn't going to really have a lot of information for you. Basically what I just talked about right now, my background a little bit. It will have my 2 syllabi, one for biology and one for AP biology. But I'm not using this teacher page very much this year for content. In previous years, I've uploaded some things to it, but we're really focusing on Google Classroom this year. So the only 2 things you're going to find on there are the 2 syllabi that I use for my classes. But you can see my teacher page right there. All right, so class. So what my class is going to be like, first of all, let's talk about Google Classroom. All of my resources and anything that I use is going to be uploaded to Google Classroom under a tab called Classwork. You can see that I'm going to upload things called, or my PowerPoints that I use. These are the PowerPoints that I actually use in class, so they'll always be there for students to use as resources, and then if they ever miss a day. Any assignments that I do in class, I will upload the assignment to Google Classroom as well. And if there is something they have to do online, I'll also post it under classwork. I also have recorded all of my lectures that go through the PowerPoints, and those are called lecture videos. I have already recorded those from last year, so I kept up to date with each chapter and uploaded the whole chapter lecture up onto my YouTube. So when students miss a day, they'll know exactly what I talked about in class. These lecture videos are usually only between I'd say 4 to 8 minutes long for each section. They're probably like 10 or 15 minutes long for the whole chapter. So if they miss a day, they can go through and listen to me, kind of work through the PowerPoint and talk about the things I talked about in class, so they can kind of keep up to date with the content. Now on the stream, I post every single day what we do in class and any reminders that I want the students to remember. So you can see this is a post from last year around September. You can see what we did in class that day, some reminders. You can see I have the homework here, which was the syllabus signature form, which is going to be homework for the first couple weeks of class. And then my teacher page, I'll probably take that off this year, and then my YouTube channel, where they can find all of the links to my lecture videos. Now, grades. I don't want to brag, but I am probably one of the fastest graders here at Bellefonte. I try to keep up to date so the students know where they're at in my class. If you have a question about a grade, please let me know. But I like to just remind parents and students that missing assignments, so if it says missing in the grade book, I do not have that assignment. If there is no grade in for the assignment, it's probably just because I haven't graded it yet. Sometimes I'll put like an assignment in and I haven't even collected it yet, but I have the assignment in so the students can kind of recognize, okay, yeah, I have to remember to turn that in whenever it's due. But if it says missing, that means I have graded everyone else's and I don't have your student's assignment. If you have a question about a grade, please email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But one thing I want to talk about before I move on from this section is I really don't believe in homework. I don't think that students should have to do homework outside of class just because I have my own philosophy about school and education. But I really don't want students doing classwork outside of my class. I think the time that I give them in class to complete these assignments is I give them plenty of time. So if your student has homework for my class, that means they're not using their time efficiently. I give for almost all of my assignments, I give ample amount of time in class for the students to complete it. So yeah, if the students are saying they have homework from my class, they're probably just not using their time effectively to complete their assignments. If you have questions throughout the year, please email me. I don't typically check my email after school and on the weekends, but I do get back within 48 hours. The reason being is just because I'm very busy. I coach track here, and I live a very busy life. So don't expect to get an email back after really school hours because I'm just, like I said, very busy. And but I will email you back within 48 hours. All right, so I'm going to cover the syllabus for AP Biology. This is again on the my teacher page on the district website. You can see my contact information here. The course overview, just like the description that the College Board gives. All of my standards, all the AP Biology standards, can be found at this website if you go to page 24, so you can see what we're going to be covering. The textbook that I quote unquote use is here. I have textbooks. I don't use them much. I use them the first couple years, but I try not to use them just because there's just a lot of reading that I don't think the students really have time for. But if the students do want a textbook, it is right here. The units that I'm going to cover are outlined by College Board. All of the content of this class is outlined already and is tailored to the AP curriculum. But here are the units. The only thing that's really, I don't say it's not, but it is in the AP curriculum. The unit 0, as I call it, is the kind of the pre-content. This is like the nature of science and the statistics that we're going to be using in class. This was a part. I should say this was part of their summer assignment. And we're going to review it as like a first week kind of activity when we come back to school here. But that's the only thing that I've kind of separated from the other 8 units. You can see these 8 units here. Grades. So there are only 2 grades in my class. There are participation grades and there are assessment grades. Participation grades are any grade where the student is just trying something out, they're completing work, and they're just doing the classwork. These grades are not meant for me to assess. They're just meant for the students to kind of try it out and see how these things are done or this content goes. The assessment grades, they are where I assess the student's knowledge. These are tests and quizzes and any lab reports where I feel like I am assessing the student's knowledge. So again, there are only 2 types of grades. The grade will either fall under participation or assessment. 25% of the student's grade is going to come from the participation grades, and 75% of their final grade will be assessment grades. Now, that is not saying that they will have a majority of assessment grades. What that is saying is 75% of their total grade will be from their assessments. So, for example, for their participation, they get every single participation point. They get 10,000 out of 10,000 participation points. That sounds like, they're going to get a really high, grade. They're going to get a really high A. That's only 25% of their grade. The other 75% is going to come from tests. Let's say they don't do well in a test. They only get like 100 points out of the 200 points. That means their grade's not going to look like, 10,100 points out of 10,200 points. The grades are weighted. So 75% of their grade is going to come from that 50% they got on the tests. This is, in my opinion, how college classes work. There's not a lot of, like I call them kind of fluff grades. They pretty much just have a couple of tests in college and that's it. They want to know what you know and not if you can turn in homework. They just want to know what you know, and that's going to be your grades. And like for example, the CHS class that I teach in AP Biology, they have 3 tests and a final, and that's it. That's pretty much all of the grades. So I try to mirror college level classes or college level class, a college level class in my AP biology class. So that's why I only have 2 types of grades, and those 2 types of grades are weighted in that fashion. Now, there are some policies here you should read over. I'll just kind of quickly go through them. Late policy, I really am very relaxed on my late policy. I have it in here where I don't accept late work, but I usually accept late work, especially because I know how busy the AP students are. They have tons of other classes. They're involved in a lot of things. I have it in here just in case I ever do need to use it, but I'm very fair with it. I typically just get or take the late work because I know, like I said, students are busy. Cell phone policy. Yes, the cell phone policy applies in my class. However, in AP, I expect them to be paying attention and not to be on their phone. I'm not going to really call them out. I'll try maybe the first week or two just to kind of remind them, hey, this isn't summer, this is class, so let's get focused here. But I try to treat my AP class like a college level class where they don't care if you have your cell phone out because it's only going to hurt you in the long run. So remind your students, or if you're a student, just think about that while you're in class. Don't have your cell phone out. Make a policy. This is primarily for like tests and labs. Make sure when they miss class, they email me. Just let me know that they're missing. I can kind of guide them for what they should be doing. Cheating policy. I don't think I've ever caught a AP biology student cheating. Just don't cheat. It just you rather take the a partial grade or whatever a bad grade on an AP test than cheat. So just don't cheat. Laboratory experiences, there are this class is a little bit more elevated in the math that we use when doing lab experiences, and I expect my students to make up their labs if they're not in class. So make sure that the students understand that when they aren't in class, they have to get the data and they have to do the analysis even when they're not here. Email policy, email me. Like I said, I try to get back within 48 hours, but I typically only email during the school day. After the AP test, I sometimes watch 2 PG-13 movies. This is they're called Gattaca and Contagion. I actually don't think I watched either last year just because of how busy at the end of the year got to be. But they're just 2 movies that I like to watch, and they're science related and AI. So one thing to really talk about, I wanted to focus on here with the AI is they're implementing some new guidelines to make sure students aren't using AI software inappropriately in the sense of creating their own, like creating lab reports or papers. A lot of the labs that we do in my class would be really tough to use AI because they're so specific, but I would recommend the students to be aware that they shouldn't be using AI to do their work. It's a good system to maybe start out and try to get some ideas and then do your own work, but make sure the students know that they're really focusing on appropriate usage of AI. Now, that's all I have for the syllabus. If you have any questions, you can email me here, but I'm looking forward to the school year.